and telling her basically, it's you I want to spend my life with. I see myself, I see you as my wife. I see me having children with you. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I'm going to share some inspiration for you from one of my clients. She's manifesting her mirror soul. We've been working together and she's had so much phenomenal, incredible experiences with him from when they first met. And she recognized something within her that they shared so many of the same interests and qualities. And she does mention this in her email that she sent to me, which I'm going to read to you. There were some stories around her not being chosen, that love wasn't safe, it wasn't safe to love, that she wasn't secure, that love itself leaves, that men are inconsistent, unreliable. That's what happens to everyone. You don't realize that you are already perfect, whole, and complete, that you are already chosen, that all of creation already exists, and your dominant assumption, your belief around yourself and others is what then reveals just that particular portion of whatever is dominant in you to you. But all potential infinite realities exist. And this has always been the case, even when you were growing up and you weren't aware that you were actually one with your entire reality, that you are source, the creator, the light, God, universe, source, infinite intelligence, however you want to label that, it doesn't really matter, but you are that having a human experience. So just like what I was saying with her, she had a story around love and abandonment and being rejected, that it wasn't safe. And it was basically just because of, not just because, an experience that she had growing up with her father. But this particular active energy within her it wasn't her mirror soul. No matter what he said or did, no matter how much he did show up for her, she would of course enjoy the experience, but then there would be that little part of her would get hyper vigilant again and insecure again. She's gone through so much, and I'm incredibly proud of her because she's really overcome so many of her limiting beliefs before. And she really does see that when she truly chooses and loves herself and trusts in her decision, truly trusting in your decision is that you make the decision, and then if the opposite limiting beliefs do come up in your thoughts, in your mind, or even in the 3D, you return back to your decision. And this process can be quick for some people, and in some cases, things can be truly instant. And in other cases, it might take some time. Manifestation itself is actually truly instant. And what that means is that particular portion of reality that already exists may not reveal itself to you instantly, but the moment that you do accept that you are deeply loved, you are beyond worthy, you are whole, complete, perfect in everything you say and everything that you do right now. You're healed enough right now. You don't have to be perfectly healed to be with your person. You just need to disconnect the little part of you that is hurting, the emotional thing that comes up through a trigger, which is a blessing. You just have to disconnect it from your person and go within and turn to yourself and give yourself love. Then you can just surrender, detach, because if you're in a trigger, you're in separation consciousness. If you're in separation consciousness, you're not realizing that you are already one with creator, the light, God, universe, infinite intelligence. If you're believing in separation, you're believing you're alone, then you're also believing that everyone in your reality is separate from you. But separation is the grand illusion. If something has already manifested in your life, this solidified because of my old identity. But that's not who I am right now. Your identity and your state of being is the most important thing. And I believe that you should always, when you wake up in the morning, be consistent and tap in from top down. So after you step into that realizing who you are that you are everything. Your entire reality, everyone in your reality is one with you. When you have these experiences, in other words, circumstances with you and your true love, when we say your circumstances don't matter, what we're saying is they only matter if you consistently believe, trust, and ruminate on them. In other words, you continue to see life from the eyes of that old identity. So you keep seeing yourself as not chosen, as not a priority, as you're going to be rejected, you're going to be abandoned, that your person is unsafe, that they don't, all of that stuff. I don't want to get into too much of old story stuff. This includes age differences. This includes anything that's a circumstance. Where I draw the line, I've shared with many videos. I'm not going to share it over and over again because it actually, it's stuff that I don't even want in my consciousness. After you kind of tap into all of that, this is just what I've done for years of my life. And I've been manifesting consciously for decades, which only means that I've been trusting that I am one with life and that what I have in my heart and soul, when I feel a true, deep pulling towards something, I wouldn't even be able to be magnetized towards wanting something unless that something also wanted me. That portion of reality that is already created, like Neville Goddard said, all of creation is already done, it's already existing. That particular portion of reality is my truest heart's desires. But even when that actually does manifest in your life, all other infinite realities still exist. You want to be consistently realizing that you are not separate. You are not separate from your reality. You are your reality. Your reality is you. And everyone in your reality, they're all your divine messengers in every area of your life, in every single experience, no matter what the relationship is, good or bad. Now I'm going to read what my client wrote to me with what happened when she finally just allowed herself to let go, to be more consistent in the morning, like I explained earlier in the session, to be more consistent and then make the decision and allow herself to embody that. Then her mirror soul took action towards her. So I'll read this email before I get further into this session today. If you do love my content, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow. I do appreciate you for that. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest anything related to your specific person or anything else, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to the website, coreunion.com, book whatever you want to book. My scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you with my next available session. So I'm going to read this. And now, reminder, there were so many experiences that she had where she was she overcame fears that cultural differences would get in the way. Then she saw evidence with him that members of his family told him, listen to your heart, listen to your soul. She overcame stories where maybe he didn't take the love seriously and didn't want to be with her for life. She ended up manifesting and experiencing him getting down on his knees in front of her, not in a weak way, by the way, in a very powerful way, in a very strong and confident way, and telling her basically, it's you I want to spend my life with. I see myself, I see you as my wife. I see me having children with you. And so then, she would still experience wavering and hot and cold because the little old identity kept trying to kept kind of overtaking her. They ended up breaking up. I don't know how long ago. I think she mentions it in this email that I'm going to read to you. There was something within her that would consistently go outside of herself for proof. There was a part of her that was resisting being consistent. We talked about her going all in and being consistent more. So I'm going to read this now. I wanted to share where I am right now and reflect on the last couple of weeks because something has really clicked for me. Now, remember, she doesn't mention this in the email, but the last session that we had, from that last session, she did start to go all in and be more consistent. So, what's shifted most dramatically is my understanding of what it actually means to live in my decision. For a long time, I was afraid to trust, afraid to love, and afraid to believe that it could be safe for me. When he initially came into my life, he felt like my dream person. We wanted the same things, had the same visions, and shared the same goals. He was literally everything I had written down on paper. Over time, my fears started to get in the way. This year, my birthday was especially difficult for me. Her birthday was mid-December. Last year, we spent our birthdays together. And this year, we were on completely different continents, separated from each other. That contrast made me feel really insecure and brought up a lot emotionally. Even so, I made a decision that I still wanted to celebrate myself and not let that moment define me or take away from my joy. Instead of spiraling, I took myself on a summer trip to Miami. That trip became a moment of loving on myself, celebrating myself, and learning how to have fun and enjoy my 3D without waiting on him. It felt empowering to choose myself and create joy for myself in the middle of uncertainty. We've been distant these last few months, really, this past year since our breakup. Around my birthday, he did nothing. He essentially disappeared. And it confirmed what I had already been ruminating on internally, which is why he disappeared, because she had been ruminating on this, that I was expecting not to be celebrated. That showed me how much I had been living in the expectation of disappointment. A week later was his birthday. He was out of town, and I texted him happy birthday and told him I loved him. When he didn't say I love you back, my ego felt slashed. And it honestly felt like a betrayal to myself. I went to lay down and then got back up and started cleaning. By the way, when I asked her during the session, did you turn within and give yourself love? She said that she did. So okay, she just didn't mention it here. So then she asked Alexa to play a song, and my favorite song came on, Ordinary. And this is her song that she wants to get married to with her specific person. And I have to say, when I listen to it, it is so, it's so deep and meaningful and of that deep, sacred love. So almost immediately, I had the thought to stick to my decision. My energy shifted and I reminded myself who I really am. From that point, it almost felt like it didn't even happen because I know I'm loved and I am love. Going into Christmas, I noticed something important about myself. I was expecting not to be celebrated again. So that was her old identity. I was expecting not to hear from him. And it wasn't because of anything he had actually done. It was the story I've carried around not being chosen. I did see him on Christmas, and a couple of days after that, I really sat with my disappointment. I realized I had been struggling with boundaries and feeling like I had to accept any treatment just to get him into my 3D reality. I saw clearly that this was the opposite of what needed to happen. I had to put myself first and process from a place of reality and self-worth. I deserve my man to show up for me. I deserve to be treated special. I deserve to be celebrated. There is nothing wrong with expressing that disappointment. I set a clear boundary and I told him how I felt by expressing my disappointment. She had been being from what I remember, I believe at this point with Christmas, I think she was probably being more consistent with herself, probably for 2 to 3, I'll say 2 to 4 weeks before what she's describing. So when you are being more consistent with yourself, then you communicate from that knowing within you your boundaries, it will be communicated differently. Your energy behind the words will be different, and you'll also get a different response. Okay. So that's important to point out. It wasn't about telling him what to do, it was simply honest expression. A day after I told him how I felt, he called the next morning just to check in and see how I was doing. And one thing that she left out here is that he also told her, because she had basically said words like, ever since we broke up, I feel that, and she described, and she described that she deserved more, him to show up more for her. And I won't share all the details because I don't remember all of them. But he did also say when he checked in with her the next day, thank you for like expressing that. And I promise to do better. After that, now in the past, when she wasn't being consistent and she was setting quote unquote boundaries, she was coming from a different energy of lack, not knowing her value and worth, not being consistent with herself, and then separation happened. After that, we didn't talk for about 3 days. And then New Year's Eve came. I had intended to spend New Year's Eve with him. At first, the old doubts tried to come in, but instead of engaging with them, I made a clear decision and released the old story. Normally, as time passed, I would have become anxious or checked for signs that it was happening. This time, I didn't. I rested in the knowing. I intentionally poured love into myself, enjoying my day, journaling, drinking a nice glass of red wine, and then going to sleep. Then he called to wish me a happy new year. We talked, and then he asked if he could come over. He said he wanted to spend time with her. He really wanted to spend time with her. He came over and we spent the night together. The next morning, he rolled over and leaned in to kiss me, and it felt like we were home. It felt familiar in the best way because this is exactly what I've been envisioning, and it's the same version of him I met previously when we first got together. What stood out most is that I didn't chase, initiate, or push anything. I stayed grounded in myself and in my decision. I had already decided internally that I would be spending New Year's Eve with him, and it happened without effort. It felt like movement without force because she knew that she didn't have to control him or the 3D. She only needed to stick with her decision and embody, knowing that she is source, having a human experience and that she's one with everything. So this entire experience has been teaching me what embodiment really means and what it looks like to live in the end. Before I relied on 3D to confirm my desires. Now I'm learning how to rest dominantly in my internal state. I know that I am loved, chosen, and worthy because I'm finally giving myself those things. Of course, he reflects that back to me. Another big shift is what I've implemented, that 1 hour a day, I'm choosing myself and I'm pouring into myself things that I was previously. That's been really important for me and part of why I'm seeing this shift with him. I'm learning to make myself a priority and to give myself the energy, love, and devotion I was looking for outside of myself. I'm also learning how to relax and receive, not from ego, but from safety. I'm allowing myself to know that it's safe for me to receive love, to be cherished, and to be celebrated. I'm realizing I don't have to do anything to earn the love that I already know that I am and deserve. Outside of my relationship with him, things are really moving beautifully in my life. I'm moving into my brand new apartment soon. I'm so excited for that. It's literally the exact vision I've had in my head. I have my first therapy client. She she not only just manifested a new career, but she's also been manifesting having her own therapy practice. So she has her first client. And I also recently manifested my new job. Things are genuinely going well, and I feel excited about the future. Soon you'll be coming with another client success story, which is my proposal, and your home together and your children together, because I'll be doing that video too. At the end of the day, it really is all about you. No one outside of you is creating or showing up in a way that you did not first believe that they would. The power in all of this is learning, deciding, and then sticking to your decision about who you are and what you deserve to have. You are worthy. You are loved. You are the highest form of abundance. Never forget that. I love you, Kim. I love you too. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your patience, your guidance, and for your love. You truly mean so much to me, and you mean so much to me too. There's another success story that a subscriber emailed to me. I will probably create that video tomorrow. I will say that I received an email from another one of my clients who is now with her mirror soul. She sent me a selfie with the two of them. They look so perfect together. After she sent me the picture, I sent back to her, you guys are a perfect pair. I love this so much because one of the things that I do in my inner work basically is in alignment with this. So this was a little bit of a manifestation for me receiving an email with a picture of her and her person. So then she wrote, Kim, I love you so much, and I am so, so grateful for you. You have changed my life after years of almost giving up. Finding you as a coach was the best thing that has ever happened to me. And so I just wanted to say how thankful and grateful I am. This is such a blessing and a gift to me to be able to be part of all of you becoming aware of your true power, that you are pure, unconditional love. You are already that. You are whole, perfect, completely. There's nothing that you're missing. You are perfect in everything you say and everything that you do. Everything that you desire, everything that you could possibly want, whether it was around health, money, security, any form of a relationship, your true love, your mirror soul, anything and everything that you could possibly desire does already exist. You just have to really, truly realize that creation is already done. You're not controlling people in your reality. You're not needing to use force or manipulation. You simply need to realize you are the light having a human experience through this beautiful, perfect masterpiece, this vessel, this container. So change your character, and your reality will reflect that back to you. Just like when somebody is playing a video game, they don't get lost thinking that they are the character. They know that they're controlling the character. So control yourself, control who you believe you are. Okay. And just like I alluded to in the beginning of the session, when you wake up in the morning, remind yourself of that. Step into that of who you already are powerfully. You can listen to my God state meditation if you like. And then when I stop saying the affirmations, there's a little bit of time for you can affirm for the specific things in your life and then just allow yourself to experience it in your imagination. You could do that if you want. And then maintain embodying that pure, powerful love, that how perfect you already are. Embody all of the things that you want throughout the day. Live your life fully. And then every hour to 2 hours, tap into who you decided and remembered that you already are in the morning. Then by the time you go to sleep, you can just go to sleep in the wish fulfilled. If during the day you got into a trigger or something went wrong in your reality, don't think that you're doing anything wrong. See that this is the old story. This is the old identity. This is the reflection. My reality, my reality, and everyone in my reality is reflecting who I am at all times. Okay? So turn within, give yourself love. Don't stuff down or reject your emotions. Express them. You need to get them out of your system. And then again, because you were in a lower level of consciousness, it's time for you to surrender. It's time for you to hand it all over to God, universe, source, in trust that everything that needs to happen is happening, that this, whatever this is, means nothing. In fact, it's a good thing because if you've been consistent, living from the end of a happy, loving relationship, and then things appear to blow up in your reality, well, then this had to happen. This is a good thing. Okay? All right. So I love you. Please do affirm down below. I remember that I am perfect in everything I say and everything that I do, that I am already deeply loved and chosen and secure, and that everyone in my reality loves me, supports me, cherishes and adores me, especially the love of my life. We are irresistible to each other. We are in perfect harmony and sync together, and we bring out the best in each other. We love our home life together. Our love is sacred and secure. I could go on and on. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.